Welcome to Dump Truck Toolbox. I'm Alan, and today I've got to get 18 tons of sand through the woods and over the river. You can see the black truck getting loaded, the red and white trucks waiting in line. I'm going to turn around and back in, and I will be the third one to load. So this is the same sand pit that I was in my last video. Today they have us driving pretty far back to the back edge of their property. And it takes a good 5 or 10 minutes to go one way back here. This is high-grade sand. It's what the Virginia Department of Transportation looks for when you do one of their road projects. You'll notice me putting on my mask. That's because of the amount of silica dust. And after I get loaded here, pull out, and we're going to be talking about vehicle dynamics today. And I want you to notice how much I bounce around in the truck back here in the sand pit going through the woods. And I'll put on some music, and I couldn't hear the music while I was in the truck, obviously. That was added later, but I'll see if I can get in rhythm to the beat. Out on the highway here, and I wanted to talk about vehicle dynamics. In terms of going straight ahead, this truck, as I've already mentioned, has a 300 horsepower engine, and acceleration's not as good. It also has a shorter wheelbase and obviously fewer axles than a quint or a quad. But because it has the shorter wheelbase, you get more of that chop, more of that bouncing motion that you saw back in the woods. You're seeing it a little bit here on the highway. The other difference is the weight shifts, not that the load shifts, the sand doesn't move, but the weight shifts more when you brake. And it seems to me like the front brakes are taking more of the load, even with the drop axle down. So as we get out onto the bridge here, uh, just I'm just amazed I get paid to drive in such interesting uh, parts of the world. But this bridge is some type of concrete segments there, and there's an expansion joint, every whatever it is, 50 feet or whatever. And so it's sort of like going to sea in your truck. You definitely get that chopping motion. And uh, the commercial vehicles I've driven largely have a problem with the bounce. And for a dump truck, driver comfort is not one of the higher priorities. But even I used to drive a transit bus, and the transit bus, because the driver's sitting in front of the front wheels, the chop is amplified. I actually had a fellow trainee when I was uh, reacquiring my commercial driver's license who got motion sick because of the movement of the bus and actually had to drop out and look for another job. Um, I mentioned that I had the mask on because of the silica dust. At that time, I did not have working air conditioning. And one of the real benefits of working for a company like Basic Construction is they have a very competent and hardworking maintenance staff. I took the truck into the garage to deal with a transmission issue, which turned out to be low transmission fluid. But while I had it in there, the mechanic climbed up into the driver's seat to to do some stuff with the transmission control, and he said, "Doesn't your air conditioning work?" And I said, "No, it doesn't. It's it's going to be a problem during the summer." And he figured out what the problem was and fixed it that day. And so since then, when I'm in a high dust situation like I was earlier, I don't put my mask on. I just put my window up and turn the air conditioner to recirculate. So uh, the truck is a sports car, like I've said before, and that means you're going to get more of that chop, and it's fine. More than makes up for the other benefits of driving a triaxle, more than make up for the slight decrease in comfort. Looking ahead, we are close to paving on the ramp we've been working on. We have just a little more sand to put in place, and then there's some fine tuning that needs to happen. But hopefully in the next week or so, I'll show you the process of paving the area of the ramp we've been working on. In just a minute here, we're going to put the music back on and go another mile or two, and then jump ahead to the ramp, and I'll show you the sand being dumped out. found today's video useful or interesting, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. We get to see some of the sand coming out of my partner's truck up there. But I'm Alan, and as always, I appreciate you joining us. I hope to see you again soon on the Dump Truck Toolbox.